welcome back. This is what we did. We just worked on these complex sitting poses. So now we're going to move on to standing ones. And complex poses standing are a little bit more difficult because there's not as many places you can put, like you can't rest it on a stool or, so you have to kind of twist the body in weird ways. And a really good place for references for that is Editorial Fashion. And I think that this pose I got off like an editorial page, and I kind of made it my own, so it's not exactly this, but I'm going to show you how to find this because I think this is such a cute little pose. So let's come in a little bit. All right, so I'm going to start with this part. I'm going to find her shoulders because they're sort of twisted at that angle, so I want to find that shape right there. So we're just going to imagine her shoulders, and this comes back around as her back. And then this is kind of her bust, belly. Okay. And then we'll just put a marker for her head. We'll put a marker for her hips, hands. I'm changing it already. I can see myself turning it not as much, but that's okay because I usually do things different every time I draw. So it's fine. We'll just roll with it. So this is the marker. This is her elbow, and this is her wrist, her hip, and then I'm not gonna have space to put both of her feet in here, but that's okay. And remember, we're going to draw through the shape, so it gets a little bit confusing at first because it's hard to tell which is in front, but it will help you in the long run. Okay. So there's her other knee. And I'm going to use this for proportions because I already used a reference for proportions, but because of the way her hips are turned, her knees need to generally line up, but one is sort of above the other, which is opposite of what her hips are doing. So this would be the high hip, and this one back here would be the low hip, and it would be opposite. So bring that up. And I'm gonna have her looking a different way. These big ears that I love started out as they were just cute, and now that I've been using them for so long, I get a lot of my clues of how to build the face from the ears. So if you watch, I usually lay down the ears first. And I think that that's something that a lot of people would say is, a style, which it is because it makes my work really recognizable. But it's kind of funny because it also helps me a lot. Okay. So let's have her hair flowing this way, like it's being blown by the wind or something. So we'll have, I like to find where her part would be. And I'm imagining sort of this, like going around her head, right? Thinking in the form of the head. So this is where I want her part to be, so. Her neck. So for this one, I might even have her arm kind of hidden, because on here, I had her hair going like more this way, and so her arm was up, like it's in front of that hair. But I've already put this down and it looks like it would be in front of the arm, and I like it better. So I'm gonna leave it like that. I don't like that little corner. I don't like this little corner. I don't like this. This is just a regular colored pencil. It's not like an erasable colored pencil or anything. And it's just like a regular eraser. It doesn't erase it very well, but it erases it enough that you can kind of fix your mistakes. But it does come with sort of limited tries because it starts to leave, you know, marks. Okay, so now that we're here, let's put her in a cute little like swimsuit. And then just like a little belly. I don't know, I have a little belly, so I like to give them little bellies. It is a little pointy though. I want it to be a little like softer. Okay. Remember, as you're connecting these, your arm is the widest at the shoulder and the narrowest at the wrist. So you want to make sure we're angling these down. Even if you draw, like I usually draw my markers all kind of the same size, but I just know that I have to do that. But if it helps you to do one bigger, smaller, then do that too. I don't have space to put a marker for the ankle, so I just sort of imagine the line. It does make it a little bit harder because it's harder to imagine kind of where your end point is. So, you know, if that is like a challenge for you, I would probably try to fit the body, like make it smaller and fit it all on one page. I do this a lot where they don't fit. Maybe I need to plan my space a little bit better. Would see just a little bit of her foot right there. Okay. And then, oh wait, I can't even see her foot. Oh yeah, so you would see a little bit of her foot right there. Zoom back out a little bit so you can see everything. There we go. So I'm gonna go now and do these little circles, these kind of rounded lines. I like to do sort of a half circle. My professor always did a full circle like that, but I use that kind of for the joints, so that always messes me up if I do that. So I like more of the half circle. And then right here where she's twisting, so you can see on here these sort of lines that kind of come around like that. That is all helping to say, like, communicate the twist. So we're gonna do all those same lines. And then we know that her body is twisting. Okay, so at this point I want to get a different color to tie down some of the lines. So I'm going to do this as sort of like a magenta. And this needs to be the most thoughtful portion of the process. I am saying that mostly for myself because I get excited and I start going really fast, just copying the lines that I already put down. But we're not copying. We're trying to finalize. So we want to find the lines that actually say, you know, communicate the right things. Okay. I'm going to be really careful in that area. There's just a lot of lines. So I'm going to give myself a sec before I go in there. I'm going to go to a place that I'm a little more sure of. Okay, so I solved all that sort of ambiguity around her neck. So now you can kind of see that this hair is coming in front, which is good. There's my dog. He barks. Will probably bark almost every time I do this. Pretty sure he barked in the last one too. He's a loudmouth. So this face is interesting and different from what I normally do. I usually do sort of a really like rounded jaw that comes, you know, sort of back, but it looks like her jaw is kind of coming out. So she kind of has this like pointy nose and these kind of pointy lips that are different from what I normally do. And I like it. It's really cool. in really good shape. Now, maybe let's add some color, some like dimension. Whoa, went flying. Okay, so I like to go for sort of a weird color in the shadow. It helps to keep it really lively. So one of my favorites right now is this apricot. I actually did it on this one too. This sort of dark color is the apricot, not dark, but yeah. So we'll put this in there. Just sort of the same basic lighting story. I really, other than, I guess I shouldn't say I don't, because I like to figure it out and find interesting lighting scenarios in digital art because it's so easy to change and experiment and whatever. But I just, for some reason, like figuring it out with, you know, tools like this. And maybe it's because it's too hard. Maybe it's because I can't do it. And so I'm trying to be like, I don't really want to, but I don't know. I just don't really feel the desire to. I've never, you know, I just like to do these simple, like, shadows and contours just to communicate this shape. Okay. So in her hair, because it's sort of like blowing and flowy, we don't want to like necessarily pick one big shadow spot, except maybe right here. Because we know for sure that all this is behind her. So this right there is coming in front, so I don't want to fill that big part in. Okay. And then, so I've sort of got it so the light is coming from this side, so we do need to just sort of hit out here, these outer, we can kind of do like lines. It doesn't need to be like all big shapes. Cool. And then we'll put something else. Maybe let's do something weird. Let's see. Oh, look at this. Chartreuse. This is gonna be cool, I think. We'll see. So I'm gonna make, so this orange is like the middle shadow, and then I'm gonna do this as the deepest shadow, even though this I think is lighter than this. Yeah, it is. So I don't know, we'll see. So, okay. Definitely like lighter in like hue, you know? I mean, your mind tells you that yellow is lighter than orange, but this is probably 3 times as saturated. So this is going to probably just take over. I like that. That is like a weird color. I like that a lot. And I definitely am trying to figure out how to explain how I draw hair, because I get a lot of questions about that, but it's really hard. I mean, yeah, it's hard to put it in words, so I'm working on it. So if that's something you're interested in, definitely stick around, because I am sort of learning along with you. I'm learning how to teach you what I already know, right? So it's a little bit of a process. Okay. Woo! I love that. Oh my God, I love that. Okay. And now we'll do maybe, well, like a darker orange, maybe? Well, I have light orange, but I don't know. That's like orange. I don't know. I don't want to do that really. Let's maybe grab something else, like my let's grab this. This is a porous tip pen. It's like an Amazon Basics, but it's the knockoff of the Flare, and I love it. I have these in every color, and this is a really super easy way to incorporate color into your work in a like interesting way. I just have pens, like waterproof pens. These like Flare types are waterproof, so you can lay them down and then lay like watercolor over top of it and they won't smear. But they like, it just adds such an interesting dimension to it to have these lines that aren't black. I spent a lot of time doing block line work on my work and just being so unhappy with it, which is a big reason why I was so like drawn to the iPad right off the bat, is because I could do, you know, everything in every color. And I think finding confidence in color in the digital space has bled over to this, because I am like a little like geek, just geeking out over color combinations, and it is so fun. Oops, well, all right, that happened. And I'm not gonna line this leg, so she is kind of the focal point, right? And I didn't line her hand either, so all of this stuff is kind of what I want you to look at. So I did line that part, which I think was necessary, but I'm gonna stop here and just maybe hit her face a little bit more just to tighten it up. And then another thing I want to do, it's my favorite, is grab this red. It's the same like Flare, it's just red, and these little circles. What are little cheekies? This is almost dead. I do it so much. Cool. So now here is about the only time that I do like to use black, is for eyelashes. Okay. Yeah. Oh my god. You guys, I love this. Okay. So I'm going to stop there. We'll see you next week. Give it a shot. Tag me on Instagram. Tell me how it works. It's @by Elisa Jenkins. I would love to see your work. And we'll see you next week. Bye.